So for the record, my last name is Riggs. I just have really, really bad handwriting. It's okay. So when I was 6 years old, my favorite movie of all time was Independence Day. I don't know who has seen that movie and who hasn't, but I'll give you the 6-year-old synopsis. Will Smith, saving the world. White House blows up, but still it's all about the White House, but he saved the world. And that's basically the best way I can possibly describe it. The main reason why I loved it is obviously heroes, but it's also because, well, my mom did not want me to watch it. It was rated PG-13, and I was 6, so I wasn't allowed to watch it. But I tricked my 19-year-old cousin Robbie into letting me watch it while he was babysitting me once. And so, sorry. So I was watching, anyway, I loved the movie, loved it. And the main reason why she didn't want me to watch it, obviously, I was only 6. And also, she was always like, Kayla, you're gonna get nightmares. I know you're gonna get nightmares. And I was like, first of all, Mom, I don't know what that word means. But second, I'm just gonna watch it anyway. But one night, after I had convinced my cousin Robin into letting me watch the movie, I woke up in my room, and there was this green glow all around my room. And all of my stuffed animals were floating in my room. And I looked outside, and I was looking out at my dog, and I could see him just floating up in the air in this giant light beam. And I was just screaming. I was like, no, Logan, no. And I went outside, and I went out to try to save him and get him out of the doghouse. I went up to try to leap for him, and I couldn't get him. And so I just stood there screaming at him. And then I woke up the next morning, and I was just in panic. I was like, I gotta get my mom. We gotta save Logan. We gotta get him out of there. The aliens got him. And then I remembered, oh man, my mom, she's at work. She's not taking me to school this morning. It was my cousin Robbie that was taking me to school. And I wasn't really on talking terms with Robbie at the time, mostly because he prevented me the day before from eating an entire bag of sugar. I was really holding on to that rage, so I was just nah, I'm not talking to him. So I created this huge plan of running outside and saving Logan. And so I went to dart off, and then Robbie grabbed me right by the shirt, and he just dragged me back. He's like, Kayla, no, we gotta get to school, you are late, we gotta go. So we hop in his white Mustang, and he blasts Vanilla Ice all the way there. Ice baby, all the way to school. And all the other day at school, I'm just struggling. I was just planning all these ideas. I drew these little maps with my colored pencils. I wasn't paying attention in class at all, but somehow the maps were gonna save me. And so all day long, I ate my snacks at school, and then I came back, and I was on the bus on the way home. And I was telling my friend on the bus, right next to me, the one who lives right down the street from me, I was just yeah, my dog was abducted by aliens last night. We gotta save him, we gotta help him. What we can do, we gotta help him. And so, so she tells me, you know what? You gotta come home with me. We gotta plan this. We gotta figure this all out. And I was like, yeah, we need to write a letter to Will Smith. He's gonna save him. He's gonna save him. This is brilliant. So I on the bus, we had this really mean bus driver. I remember having a horn on her head. I don't know. and I was terrified of her, so I didn't want to tell her, I gotta go home with my friend, and we knew that we had to have notes, to write from your mom in order to go home with somebody else, at a different stop. So I was like, all right, we gotta write a note. And I pulled out my little plastic case, and I opened it up, and I got nothing but colored pencils. And I was like, no, adults don't use colored pencils. They use number 2 pencils. So I pulled out my number 2 pencil, and I wrote out this note. And it was obviously, I imagine it was not great handwriting. Clearly, I'm 26 now, and I still have terrible handwriting. So it failed. It probably, it was meant to fail. But she had a horn. She didn't care. She didn't even look at the note. She just tossed it off to the side. She's like, all right, go ahead. So all right, we got a plan going. And I was like, that worked. I'm genius. So I get out there, and I'm at her house for 3 hours. My mom had no idea where I was. I just hopped off the bus, didn't tell her where I was going. Like, she didn't know about Logan being abducted by aliens, at least as far as I knew. So we're sitting there for 3 hours, drawing this map, writing letters to Will Smith in green colored pencil, because it was my favorite color at the time. And just, like, we developed this beautiful plan, and I was like, all right, it's time for me to go home. And it's dark outside, and I was walking back home, and I hear, dun 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 dun. Does anybody know Ice Ice Baby? Anyway, so it was Ice Ice Baby just playing up behind me, and I was like, oh, great, it's Cousin Robbie. He's gonna be able to give me a ride home. It's starting to get dark. I'm scared. I don't want to get abducted by aliens. So almost done. So he grabs me and he hugs me so tight, and he was just crying, and he was like, I'm so sorry that I yelled at you this morning. I'm so sorry. I was like, man, it's fine. And we get home, and I was just like, but like we gotta save Logan. So we get in the car, and he's just like, no, like Logan's home. I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, oh, nice. I don't even have to send all these up. This is awesome. All right, cool. So we get home. My mom runs up to me, and she just hugs me tighter than I can possibly remember somebody like hugging me. And I instantly like had this like full understanding, like, you know, that knot that you get in your stomach, that rock that just goes in between your chest and your stomach, and like that feeling as if like everything you like just nearly lost and it suddenly came back. So I looked at her and I was like, Mom, the aliens brought Logan back. Like, it's totally cool. Everything's fine. Like, we don't need it. Like, I'm worried about him digging down to, like, China, though, because he's getting really good at digging. But everything's cool. And then she cried a little bit longer.